Hello, everybody out there in Rumble, X, and YouTube land. Welcome back to Diego Knows, and I, of course, am Diego. All right, we're going to talk some more, hopefully for the last time. All right, about It Ends With This. It Ends With Us. Okay, this crappy movie. I've never made this many videos before on one movie. Okay, on one movie. It's because I had to talk about the scandal, and there's just so much going on. It's still going on. I mean, next year it's still going to be going on. In fact, I read today, this morning. I read that Discovery Plus. If y'all don't know what that is, okay. Discovery is the company, the corporation that owns Warner Brothers, that owns HBO, Max, all that kind of stuff. Okay, they own DC Comics too. All right, they're run by a guy named David Zaslav. Okay, and they bought Warner Brothers from AT&T a few years ago, like 2 or 3 years ago. All right, and they're trying to save money. Okay, and Discovery I guess it was a reality network. Okay, it was a reality thing. They made a lot of money off of making cheap programming because reality shows are cheap. You don't have to hire professional actors. Since it's reality, the scripts are minimum. You can use natural lighting, all that kind of stuff. All right, so they're less expensive to make. Okay, and that's just Discovery. That's what they built their fortune on. All right, and then they started acquiring things and stuff. And they acquired Warner Brothers, like I said. Okay, and what do you call it? Apparently, they want to do a reality show, or at least some sort of a documentary on this scandal, on this Justin Baldoni scandal. Okay, Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively scandal. Okay, which is so weird. I mean, this is just like come on. I mean, and don't look at me. Yes, I'm talking about it. Okay, you could say I'm part of the problem. I'm here to review a movie. I'm only talking about the scandal because it involves the movie. Okay, we got two different sets of dramas going on: the real one and the fictional one. Okay, and they're both crap, honestly. Although I do hope Justin Baldoni wins this court case. He is suing Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds for $400 million. He's suing the New York Times for $200 million. Okay, so I hope he gets something out of this. I mean, he's not going to get that much money. He would have to prove in a court of law that he would have made, $500 million if only this hadn't happened to him. So, and there's no way he's going to be able to prove that. But maybe, like in a sense, there'll be a moral victory. Like if you look at Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, that whole situation. Eventually, Johnny Depp did win his case. He proved that Amber Heard was a liar. Okay, well, you married her, dude. Okay, but his career has not recovered. His career has not recovered. And it's not going to. Okay? Because a lot of Hollywood, okay, is run by liberal feminists. Okay? And they can't, even though it's the women that basically acquitted Johnny Depp in the court of public opinion, okay, they're not going to allow this, okay? A man who has openly defeated a woman, okay, in public no less, okay, they're not going to allow him back into Hollywood. Of course, the Hollywood is a showbiz. It's all about, showing you, projecting an image, towing the line. Okay, he went against a woman and he won. Can't have that in Hollywood. They don't want it. They don't want it because that's going to give other men ideas. You get it? And you can't have that. You got to stick to the Me Too. You got to stick to the, all men are sexual predators. All men are sexual harassers. Believe all women. You got to stick with that. Otherwise, doubt will be cast. They're going to lose the feminists that are in charge. They're going to lose their power. Okay? They're going to lose their blackmailing ability, their extortion ability against male producers. Now, I'm not making excuses for male producers. There's plenty of them that are scumbags. Okay? But you cannot tell me that all of them are sexual harassers. Okay? Okay, some of them are just a job to them. Okay? They're happily married. They've got kids and all that. They're not going to screw around or nothing like that, or abuse their positions or whatever. Okay? And most people aren't in high positions. Most men in Hollywood are not. They're lowly. They're lowlives. Okay, they're the guys that clean the bathroom. They're the guys that clean your trailer. Okay, they're the guys that set up the lights and stuff. They're not these big egomaniac people. Okay, like producers and actors are, that kind of thing. They're not like that. All right. So no. Okay, as long as the fact that he won. Okay, he's a pariah now in Hollywood. Nobody's going to give him a job. No one's going to offer him anything. Okay, and that's just the way things go. All right, that's the way it is in Hollywood. Now, if Amber Heard had won, okay, she would be celebrated. She'd be a queen in Hollywood. Okay, she'd get a 3-picture deal minimum. She's starting another big a big budget blockbuster movie. Hell, they would have spun off the Aquaman movie into a Mira movie where it's just her and her lesbian fish eating friends. Okay, that's what it would have been. Okay, but obviously that's not what happened. Okay, Hollywood is not going to reward men, especially not a straight white guy like Johnny Depp. Okay, that is like so 2000s. Okay, we're not there anymore. You see what I mean? And that's the sad state of things. Okay, and Justin Baldoni falls under this as well. Okay, I mean the blatant misandry in Hollywood is it's ridiculous. I mean that's going to change. Obviously, we're under new management, as you know. Okay, but even then, it's going to take a long time for any changes to start showing up. Okay, the stuff that's been in the works for the past 3-4 years. Okay, that's the stuff that's coming out right now, and it's going to keep coming out for the next 2 or 3 years before we start seeing anything new. Before anyone dares to go against the narrative, dares to go against the overlords of Hollywood and starts actually making something that people actually want to see. I mean, look at Snow White. I mean, how perfect is that? Okay, I mean that movie cost Disney like almost $400 million, and that's not even including the marketing, because they had to reshoot the whole thing after the strikes. Okay, they had to pay people to create CGI dwarves because there weren't any in the original version. Okay, things like that. Okay, so that movie is the worst. It's the worst Disney live action flop of all time right now. Okay, and next week it's gonna be Minecraft, so that movie's done. That movie's done. Okay. And the reason it failed, I mean, yeah, you can make your excuses that it's Rachel Zegler. Well, absolutely. She said a lot of stupid things. Okay. She said a lot of misandrous things. She turned off a lot of people. Absolutely. Okay. I'm not going to take anything away from that. She most definitely hurt the movie. Okay. But have you watched Snow White? Okay. Because I did. Okay. I sailed the high seas. No, I didn't give Disney my money. Okay. I sailed the high seas. Okay. I watched it and it was crap. It was crap. But the fault, I mean, if you want to look at the reasons outside of the movie, yes, Rachel Zegler. Okay, her stupid interviews where she condemned Trump supporters, where she was pro Hamas. Okay, Hollywood is majority of Hollywood is Jewish. Okay, it was founded by Jews. The whole industry was founded by Jews. Okay, and I guarantee you, Rachel Zegler, the people that hired you were Jewish. Okay, and then here you are, pro Hamas. Pro-Palestine? Are you out of your mind? Okay, are you out of your mind? Not to mention that your co-star is from Israel. She's Jewish too. So it's like, you talk about biting the hand that feeds you. Okay, so yeah, her comments were stupid. Okay, but ultimately, the movie failed, okay, because the movie was terrible. The script was terrible. They threw out the 1937 script. Okay, it's no longer about a girl hoping her prince will come, and she'll fall in love with him, they'll get married, and all this kind of stuff, okay? It's not about that anymore, okay? It's about her being a boss bitch, okay? She doesn't even look like Snow White. She's fucking Latina. I'm Latino, okay? Her skin's closer to mine than to Snow White. Okay, it's ridiculous. Okay, and those dwarves look horrible. They looked absolutely horrible. They looked like something out of a video game from like five or 10 years ago. Okay, they gave Dopey hair. He looks like the goddamn Alfred E. Newman from freaking Mad Magazine now, and he speaks. Okay, that whole thing. Remember that whole thing in the cartoon? Where like there was 2 dwarves and Dopey stood on top of the other dwarf and he put on that coat to make it look like he was a grown man and he started dancing with Snow White, I mean, that's all cut out. That's not even in this new movie. Okay, I mean, the story's just terrible. Okay, it makes no sense. They got rid of what was good about it. Okay, so the script failed. Okay, the script was just god-awful. Okay, those dwarves looked terrible. You could tell the movie was patched up. Okay, the point I'm trying to make here is that movies fail, okay, for not just one reason, but for several reasons, okay? It wasn't just Rachel Zegler in Snow White's case, okay? But the point is that these are the type of movies that we're going to continue to get, okay? They were actually trying to save Snow White, okay? They actually tried to be like, okay, all these woke movies we're making are failing, so maybe we should make Snow White fall in love after all, because all the interviews we've been given is that there's not going to be a princess that's going to save her. She's not going to fall in love with anybody, but that kind of thing, So they kind of, you could tell they kind of like at last minute patched together a prince in there who's not even a prince. He's like a thief. okay, a love interest, okay. They put that in at the last minute, and it's just like, no, dude, it looks like you had one movie and you cut it up and put a different movie inside of it, and then you try to sew it together to make it look like it's seamless, and it's not at all. Okay, that's what the movie seems like. All right. So, that's what happens in Hollywood. Okay, they try to fix things, they try to patch things up together. Okay, and what Hollywood doesn't realize is that times have changed. We're no longer in the Me Too era. That was freaking 8 years ago, for Christ's sake. Okay, most of the guys that sexually harassed, you've gotten rid of them already. Okay, now it's the women that are harassing. Okay, if there's an upcharge in anything, it's an upcharge in misandry. There's an upcharge in, in this woke ideology. Okay, I mean, if you look at the crime statistics, okay, women, especially teachers, like women in their late 20s, early 30s, okay, that are married and have kids, okay, they're over here having sex with their 10, 11, 12-year-old, 13-year-old male students. Okay, and that is like almost epidemic levels. Okay, and nobody's making movies about that. Okay, yeah, that's a serious issue. Okay, you want to talk about, okay, sexual assault. Okay, there it is right there on a silver platter, and nobody's making movies about that. Why is that? Why do we keep getting more of the man bad, women good? Okay, like this movie here. Okay, why do we keep getting that? See, because it doesn't fit the narrative. It's not about telling you the truth. Okay, Hollywood is supposed to reflect society. Okay, they don't create society. Okay, they don't do that. Okay, they're supposed to show you what's going on out there to raise awareness, so that those of you who didn't know that this is happening right underneath your nose, now you know. Okay, and Hollywood doesn't do that. They're giving you a narrative. They're telling you, okay, focus on this, so that you don't see what we're doing over here. Okay, and that's what this is. Okay, that's what this movie is. That's what It Ends With Us is. Okay, it's just red herring. It's trying so hard to focus on Ryle Kincaid's character, Justin Baldoni's character, being such a piece of crap for beating up his wife, that it's telling you to not look at all the things that Lily Blossom Bloom has done, okay, and what she's doing. Okay, I'm not standing up for Ryle Kincaid at all. He's a piece of crap. If anything, he needs to go to jail for what he did to his wife. Okay, but let's not make a saint out of the sinner either. Okay, Lily Bloom's hardly innocent in this thing either. Okay, she's over here having an emotional affair, keeping secrets from her husband. Okay, she's over here lying to him about things. Okay, she's not reciprocating any of his affection, and she doesn't have the balls to tell him, hey, I just don't want to see you anymore. That's it. Okay, I don't feel for you the way you feel for me. Okay, yeah, it'll suck. Okay, but a real man could take it and move on. A real man would have moved on. He wouldn't have kept pestering this woman over and over again to get her to kiss him, to go out with him, all that kind of stuff that we see in this movie. Simping 101, completely, from Atlas and from Ryle. Sorry, I meant that from Ryle and from Atlas. Okay, look at Atlas here. He's done nothing with his life. Okay, he's sitting around jerking off, watching gay porn, sticking his thumb up his ass every single day, waiting and hoping that someday his girlfriend, the underage girl that he cream pied 25 years ago, will walk into his life again, and they can pick up where they left off. Okay, that's literally what he's doing. Okay, he has no girlfriend, he has no wife, he has no kids. He's done nothing with his life except this goddamn restaurant. Okay, he goes to work dressed like a waiter. Okay, he wears the same things that his waiters wear: a black t-shirt, jeans, and a black apron. Okay, and he takes orders and he delivers food. Like, don't you pay people to do that? You're the goddamn owner. You see what I mean? This is ridiculous. And he's got nobody. Okay, according to this movie, he's got the #1 restaurant in Boston. Okay, so it means he's making a lot of money. Okay, it's a fun place, people like it there. But yet he's got no girlfriend. Are you out of your freaking mind? The fact that a girl will have free food from your ass as long as she's with you, okay, and no woman tried to hit on you, no woman, you didn't go out with any girls at all. You just been sitting around with your thumb up your ass waiting for Lily Blossom Bloom, who you last saw 25 years ago in Maine, in Plethora, Maine, and now you're in Boston, and you're still waiting for her to show up. You dedicated your whole restaurant to her. I mean, this is stupid. This is simping fucking to the 9th degree. Okay, and you can't expect me to buy this shit. You can't just because you give me a fucking shit sandwich doesn't mean I'm gonna fucking bite into it and swallow it. Okay, I'm not, because you know what? It's a shit sandwich. That's what this movie is. It's a shit sandwich. I mean, god damn. This movie's got way too many asks. Okay, you're supposed to expect me to see why anyone would fall in love with Lily Blossom Bloom. Okay. In most of the movie, she's butt ugly. She really is. No makeup, freckles everywhere, frizzy hair. She dresses like a car mechanic, baggy fucking clothes that don't match. Okay? She doesn't look great. There's a couple scenes where she looks decent, but for the most part, she looks average. And you expect me to believe that this is a high value woman? This is the kind of woman that alpha males and high value men fight over? No, they don't. They don't. You didn't sell me on that. You didn't sell me, the guy, on that. Okay? If you want me to see her as high value, you got to put a high value girl on there. And you haven't done that. So I'm not invested. Okay? I'm not attracted to Lily Blossom Bloom the way all the alpha males are in this movie. You see what I mean? I couldn't get two fucking shits about her. She's not that. I see Lily Blossom Blooms 600 times every fucking day just walking down the street in this big city that I live in. Okay? There's nothing special about her. She's just a bitch. Just a lying bitch. That's all she is. Oh, I guess she knows how to take care of flowers too. Yeah, she can do that. Okay? But guess what, ladies? Guys don't give a shit about what you do for a living. For the most part, we don't. Okay? Okay, it's not like we're dependent on you to fucking support our ass. Okay? All right, so there's that. Okay? And then you've got, the Atlas, okay, who fucking owns that restaurant and doesn't do shit with his life. Okay? He's just simping all over Lily, hoping, praying for her to come back to him. Okay? Getting involved in her business with her husband, okay, as far as him beating her up and stuff, and he's over here beating the shit out of Lily's husband. Don't you dare touch her again! Captain Save-A-Ho all the fucking way. The guy that's supposed to come in there and save the girl from the abusive husband, the abusive boyfriend. Okay, yeah, this movie, yeah, he's Captain Save-A-Ho in this movie. In real life, this shit don't fucking work. Okay? It doesn't work. You can't save any woman, okay, from a guy. If she keeps going back to that guy, okay, fuck her. I know it sucks, okay? I've seen this. Like, I used to manage a titty bar. Okay, I've seen this so many fucking times. Okay, women complain about their boyfriends beating the shit out of them. Okay, calling them ugly and shit when they're not. I mean, I'm thinking about a girl right now who's drop dead fucking gorgeous. I mean, she was a 10. She was a 10. Easily. She's a 19-year-old girl, Asian, incredible fucking body. Sweet as honey. Oh my God, I don't think this woman ever berated anybody, okay, in her entire life, much less at work. All right? Sweet as honey. Her boyfriend would tell her she's ugly. Her boyfriend would tell her, what hit her and stuff. She'd have to cover it up with makeup. And she'd cry to me about, why does it do this? Why does it say this to me? And that kind of thing. And she cried to anybody who would listen. And we all told her the same thing. You got to leave this guy. You got to leave him. You got to leave this guy. It's not good for you. Okay? And she never would. But she would continue to cry about him to us. And finally, we're just like, hey, you know what? That's your problem. I had to have that conversation. That is your problem. I already told you what to do. You don't want to do it. Quit complaining to me about it. I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of hearing about this guy and how the way he's treating you. You know what you have to do. You ain't doing it. Okay, I'm out of it. Okay? Don't involve me in this crap anymore. I told her that. I straight up told her that. Okay? And that's the truth. That's the freaking truth. Okay? You can't fucking save anybody. What am I going to do? Go find this guy and beat the shit out of him? How's that going to help? She's just going to go back to him. I've seen that too. I've seen guys hit their girlfriends in the parking lot. And I go over there and I fucking shove the guy down for doing it. And then the girl gets on me, starts hitting me. Leave him alone, you asshole. You see what I mean? That's realistic. That's what really happens when you try to be Captain Save-A-Ho. So quit fucking doing it, guys. Just quit fucking doing it, okay? You can save her from this, okay? But you can't save her from putting herself in a situation. Because I guarantee you, okay, she's going to go right back to him. She's going to go right fucking back. You can't fucking save anybody. Okay? You can point them in the right direction. You cannot make them go there. Okay? And that's the truth. Okay? This movie's full of shit. This movie's completely full of shit. All right? And that's fucking Atlas, Captain Save-A-Ho. And then you got Raul Kincaid. Okay? Simp. Okay? You cannot convince me. You can't get me to believe that this guy is a master seducer or something. He goes through women like candy. He doesn't go through shit. Okay? He's a pathetic, insecure, jealous idiot is what he can't even see what's right and fucking in front of him. When he finds out his wife is in love with another man, his first instinct is to rape her and then to bite her? Are you fucking crazy? No man that's in love with his wife and hears that is going to do these things. Okay? If he's really in love with her, he's going to be devastated. And he's going to want to get the fuck away from her. And that's the truth, okay? He doesn't try to rape. You don't try to rape. The first thing he's going to think about is his wife in bed with this other guy, having sex with the other guy. And I guarantee you, that is not going to make him horny. Despite the bullshit you see on fucking Netflix, all those fucking chick TV shows where the woman's having an affair, the husband finds out about it, and she thinks that she's busted, and then the husband goes like, I just want to be a part of it too. Like that, okay? Fuck that noise. That's all bullshit. That's not real. Okay? Realistically, the first thing he's going to think about is his wife, the woman he loves, okay, getting filled out by this other guy. Okay? And that is going to turn him off to her. Completely turn him off to her. Maybe forever even. Okay? Because he's never going to lose that picture in his mind. You see what I mean? That's going to be his first instinct. It's not going to be to rape her. That's not it at all. All right? So this movie's a load of crap. All right, let's finish talking about the movie some more. All right. Now, where we left off last time, obviously, Lily, she got bitten. She went to go see Atlas. He took care of her. Got her. Even though he's a chef, he got her some DoorDash. They talked about their feelings. He cried in front of her, which is always good when you're trying to console a woman you love. You cry in front of them. Okay, all that kind of stuff. Ryle has been blowing up her phone. She has not been answering. She's too busy looking at herself in the mirror to be answering Ryle. Okay, she found out she was pregnant when she went to the emergency room because of the bite that Ryle gave her. Okay, she decides to go I guess, she goes to their apartment to get her stuff or something, or she gets a new apartment. I don't fucking know. It's not really that clear. We know that she's not living with him anymore. Okay, but he does drop her off at her place. So I'm guessing she got her stuff and then left. All right, she's pregnant now, so she's gonna get her own place. The last thing Atlas told her after he dropped her off and then walked home was that, hey, listen, if you ever decide to fall in love again, fall in love with me. Like, he's gonna wait. Like, he's been waiting for the past 25 years for her. He's gonna continue to wait. Okay, even though he knows that she's pregnant. She was thinking about having a boy. No, you can do this. You got this, Lily. You're so beautiful. You're so strong. You're so intelligent. You saved my life. And you're such a boss bitch. And you're so beautiful. And your cock's even bigger than mine. And you can handle it because you can handle anything. Because you're so strong and independent and smart and talented. And the babies are lucky to have you. All the other kind of fucking shit. You're not her asshole. But this whole movie's about that. You're not Lily's asshole. All right, so that's all going on here. Okay, she has a conversation with her sister-in-law, played by butt ugly Jenny Slate. Okay, who also just had a baby earlier in this movie. And tells her, she's shocked. Okay, she said, I never knew my brother could ever beat the shit out of a woman, And then she tells her, listen, you know what? As your sister-in-law, I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive him. But as your best friend, if you ever see him again, you go back to my sweating, I'll never talk to you again. Like that, okay? So the choice is pretty obvious here, okay? Okay, so the next scene here is we have a montage, okay? We saw, Lily walking around, her stomach's getting bigger, okay? Blah, blah, blah. She finds out it's a girl, okay? The montage of her, okay, about walking around. I guess she got her own place, all right? She's trying to put together a crib. She tried to do it earlier with her mom. Her mom didn't know how to put together a crib. Apparently, that's something only guys can do, all right? I don't fucking understand it. Okay, I put together my son's crib as well. But anyway, so more song montages of worthless songs. Okay, then finally Ryle shows up. Ryle shows up at Lily's new apartment, okay, in his scrub. So obviously he's on his lunch break or something, or just got off of work, okay, and he builds the crib, okay, because remember, Lily's pregnant, okay. He builds a crib for her. She's not happy to be around Ryle at all, okay. She kind of gives him the blow-off treatment, okay. But then again, I remember thinking this song, okay, so obviously she's not comfortable with him being there. She's still mad at him for biting her and all that kind of stuff. But then again, so she's kind of being a bitch to him. But then I remember, well, how is that different from the way she's been treating him the entire movie? She's been a bitch to him the entire movie. Okay? The question isn't whether or not Lily is a good person or a good girlfriend or a good wife. Okay, that's never been a question to me. She's always been a bitch. She's always been terrible at those things. The question for me is, why the fuck would Ryle fall in love with her? Why would he fall in love with a woman that treated him this way? From the very beginning. You see what I mean? That's the real question I want answered. Okay, so anyway, this is no different from the way she's been treating him the entire movie. Okay, Anyway, so she lets him touch her belly. Okay, and Ryle asks her to come home. Okay, and then he'll never do it again, of course. Okay, and he'll get some help. Okay, Okay, and she just tells him to get the fuck out. Okay, so he leaves her alone in the apartment. Okay, he leaves. All right, he doesn't hit her or nothing. He just leaves. Okay, all upset and depressed that she won't come back to their penthouse. Okay, their apartment, their condo, their luxury condo. Right. Okay, so later on, Lily gives birth. Okay, we see a montage. Okay, and then Ryle, of course, is there. He's a doctor. It's probably in the same hospital that he works at. Okay, but Ryle is there to watch his daughter being born. Me personally, I was not there when my son was born. I was right outside. I did not want to see that. I did not want to film it. Okay, I did not want to look at that shit. Okay, once I heard the baby crying, and the doctor said the nurse said I could come in, and I came in. All right, but I just didn't need to see that much. Okay, anyway, so that's going on. All right. Ryle is there. They take turns holding the baby. Of course they do. Okay, and she wants to name her baby Emerson. Okay, Emerson. Now, Emerson was the name of Ryle and Alyssa's older brother, okay, who died when they were children because Ryle and Emerson, they found their dad's gun. They thought it was a toy, and Ryle was playing with it, and he shot his brother. He was 6 years old when he did this. He shot his brother and killed him, his older brother, by accident, playing with a loaded gun. And apparently, the parents did not go to jail for this. Okay, anyway, this scarred him. This scarred Ryle, and that's the reason he likes to beat the shit out of women. It's because he accidentally killed his older brother when he was a little boy. Okay, now earlier in this movie, when we first meet Ryle, he is a neurosurgeon now, still is, okay, and he had a patient, a little boy, a 6-year-old boy, who got shot by his brother in the head by accident when they were playing with a gun, and the little boy died. So that's why Ryle was all upset, and the very first thing we saw, that's why he picked up that lawn furniture and threw it. He was on the roof of his building, started throwing shit, all upset. That's why. Okay, so basically what he had done happened all over again, and that's what pissed him off, and that's the reason he beats up women. How do you make the connection between these two different things, between beating up women and accidentally killing your little brother? I don't fucking know. The movie never explains it, but apparently they're linked. Okay, anyway, his brother's name was Emerson. Okay, oh yes, a boy. It was a boy. All right, so they decide they're gonna name the little girl Emerson, and they'll call her Emmy for short. Okay. Yeah, she's gonna name the baby after the brother that he killed by accident when he was a little boy, and of course, this just gets Ryle like, just like that for like 3 hours. All right, he starts crying like a bitch. Okay, and then she tells him. Okay, she puts her hand on his cheek, on his hair, and tells him, I want a fucking divorce. Which, honestly, they never should have gotten married in the first place. Okay, it should have been annulled a long time ago. Okay, she never had feelings for him the way she did for her fucking ex-boyfriend. Okay, that she gave up her homeless ex-boyfriend, she gave up her virginity to. Okay, she tells him that she wants a divorce, and she says it's not for her. Okay, it's not for us. It's for her. It's for the baby. Okay, the baby needs the parents to be divorced. That's better for the baby. Okay, because single moms are better. Everyone knows this. Okay, the facts point this out. Okay, the facts are indisputed. Okay, well, children that are raised by single moms have a higher tendency of graduating college. Okay, of having successful careers. Okay, of being boss bitches. Okay, okay, and that's the truth. All right, look, the statistics are there. They don't lie. Okay, everybody knows this. All right, this movie knows it too. That's why I'm glad that they're being realistic here. Okay, so that's why. Okay, single moms make better mothers. Okay, and that's a fact. Okay, now she asked him, what if one day, she marries a guy, and she says, I'm doing it for her. She goes like, just picture this, Ryle. Picture this. What happens if one day Emmy here falls in love, marries a guy, okay, cheats on him, and then the guy leaves her. And then she leaves him with this new guy, this new stud that she's been cheating on her husband with, all right? Okay? You're not going to let her divorce rape her husband? okay, with child support and alimony? You're not going to let her do that? I need to learn how to do that so that I can teach her. And how am I going to teach her how to divorce rape her husband that she was cheating on in the future if I've never done it myself? So guess what? I'm going to learn. Basically, that's it right there. Okay? So she can teach her daughter the importance of marriage. Okay, now what if she comes and she says, like, she tells him some more hypotheticals. She says, Ryle, what if she comes to you one day and says, Daddy, my husband pushed me down the stairs after I told him that I was in love with another man. Now, Ryle, what would you tell her if she were to tell you that? What if the person that she loved, oh, wait a minute, I'm sorry, the person that she was married to was hurting her? Ryle's like, I would beg her to leave him and to never go back. Just like that, right? He cries like the bitch that he is, that he's always been, okay? And leaves. He leaves the hospital, okay? And she just watches him like that, all right? Yeah, this happens. Okay, and she talks to the baby. She talks to the baby after her fucking soon-to-be ex-husband walks out of there, crying his ass off, you know, looking for the fucking tampon machine in the ladies' room. She talks to her little baby there, little Emerson, right? A boy's name. And he says, Mama's got you. Yeah. It stops right here with you and me. It ends with us. Okay, because that's the title of the movie. So this is where she says the title of the movie. Okay, you know how they worked it in there. It ends with us. Okay, she's going to make, because she's a single mom. Okay, so that's going to guarantee that her daughter never grows up and falls in love with a guy that beats the shit out of her, because the statistics prove that women who are raised by single moms do not become pregnant as teenagers. Okay, they mostly graduate college. Okay, they do not involve themselves in drugs or alcohol abuse. Okay, and they never get beat up by their boyfriends. Okay, they never cheat on their husbands either. Okay, statistics have proven this, that when you're raised by a single mom, that's how things turn out. All right, so it's true. So it's a good thing. The fact that her and her husband are getting divorced, that means that her baby's got a better chance of none of those terrible things happening. Anyway, so Lily drives to Plethora, Maine. She drives back home to Maine, where she's from, okay, to visit her mom that she doesn't respect, okay, with the baby, okay, and they go visit her dad's grave. Remember her dad, the one that in the beginning of the movie, she refused to speak, to give the eulogy at his funeral. Because why? Because he beat the shit out of her mom. And her mom didn't leave him. That's why. And also because he beat the shit out of Atlas. Okay. After he caught her getting cream pied when she was 15 and he was 18. Okay. So that's why she hates her dad. And she still hates him despite what she says. But she does decide to go visit his grave. Okay. With her little baby. Okay. So that Emmy can meet her grandpa, if you want to call it that, okay? And we look at the gravestone, we find out that he died in 2021. So that means that the movie began in 2021, okay? The opening scene, okay, at the funeral was in 2021, and now it's 2024. So this movie takes place over the span of 3 years, okay? Now we know, at the end of the movie, now we realize how much time has passed. It's been 3 years, okay? 3 years. All right, so that's going on, okay? And she says, that's enough of that. In other words, okay, we saw him, bye. And then she leaves, okay, with her baby, okay? And then back home in Boston, okay, Lily works. She works at her flower shop, Lily Blooms, okay? She raises her daughter all by herself because she's a boss bitch, okay? Well, I mean, whoever's taking care of the baby while she's at work, that also gets raises her daughter, okay? Okay, and at the farmer's market she goes to, okay, she sees Atlas there in slow-mo. Everything's in slow-mo. Like that. She's just like that. This goes on for like 2 hours. Okay, everything's in slow-mo at the farmer's market. Okay, and they approach each other when they see each other. Now, of course, Atlas has both his thumbs up his ass because that's the only sex he's had in the past like probably 27 years now. Okay, so he's been doing nothing except hoping to one day walk into Lily at the fucking farmer's market. All right, because that's where he buys his bootleg gay porn. All right, so he's there. He runs into Atlas there. Okay, Atlas is like, oh, so is that your daughter? Because by now it's got to be because she's like, I think she's in a crib or something now, so it's probably like 2025 now. Okay, and when she says like, oh, that's your daughter. Okay, and yeah, and Lily, he says, so was that your daughter? And she's like, no, it's just a baby that I fucking kidnapped. Okay, what do you fucking think? No, that's not what she says. Okay. But he does ask her, are you still with, you know who? With, you know who? And Lily's like, oh, no. It's just us. And of course, she's wearing like a big fucking smock coat, okay? She looks like shit. She looks like a homeless woman pushing a stroller, but just go with it. The movies already asked you to go with so many fucking implausible situations in this movie, so just go with this one too, okay? It's the fucking end of the movie. Just go with it. All right? Yeah. So anyway, he stares at her for like 30 minutes, just like that, okay? And then Lily's like, are you seeing anyone? Like that. And he says, no, I'm not, Lily. I know, surprise, I'm not. I haven't seen anyone since your dad beat the shit out of me 27 years ago. No, Lily, I'm not seeing anyone, as usual. Okay, I spend every night with my thumb up my ass. Okay, with my dick in my other hand. And for the past 25 years, that's all I've done. Yeah. Oh, it's like 27 years. 27 years. That's all I've done. You know this. I was always been hoping though that I'd run into you again, and I have to confess something, Lily. I got to confess something. Nothing, absolutely nothing in this world would turn me on more than raising another man's fucking child. And Lily's like, the end. That's how the fucking movie ends. Who gives a shit if that's the real ending? That's how the fucking movie ends. Read between the lines. That's how the fucking movie ends. What the fuck, man? Was this 27 fucking videos I made in this fucking movie already? And this is the resolution of everything that we've seen. Like all the lying, all the abuse. Okay? This is the resolution. Okay? So the message here is that, yes, being a single mom is better than being a married mom. Okay? Kids don't need their dad because dads are all pieces of shit. Okay? And nothing is better, for a man, nothing is better than raising another man's child. Knowing every fucking day that ain't your fucking kid. Okay? It's the guy that she chose instead of you back then. It's his kid, not yours. Isn't that great? Oh, and don't do anything with your fucking life, okay? Just sit around with your thumb up your ass, hoping for the girl that you're still pining for will come back to you. Because she will. It'll just take like 25 years, but she'll do it. So she's worth the wait. You see what I mean? That's what this movie's teaching you. Okay? That's what it's just teaching men. The few men that watch this piece of shit and the women that believe this piece of shit. That's what it's teaching you. Like fucking, all we ever really needed in life, okay, was to raise another fucking man's kid. You really expect me to believe this shit? Just try to put it from Atlas's point. Let's pretend that Atlas is a real man. Okay? He's busted his ass. He was in the Marines, had a terrible childhood. He busts his ass. He builds up a very successful restaurant for himself. Okay? For himself. And then he runs into a woman that he used to love. And his instinct is to pursue her. And now that she's no longer with her wife-beating ex-husband, his instinct is to be with her now and take care of her fucking kid. If I built my own fucking successful restaurant with my own fucking hands, if there's any fucking kid I'm going to take care of, it's going to be my own. Well, the baby already has a father. He's not fulfilling that role. Okay, that baby already has... Oh yeah, that's right. The little baby has a father. A father who likes to beat the shit out of women. You see what I mean? Does anybody even fucking think of this shit when they bought the rights to this fucking movie, when they filmed this motherfucker? Or they're too busy fighting with each other over who's going to control the rights to the franchise. That's probably more like it, man. This movie's a fucking dog-ass piece of shit. Oh my fucking God. Okay, Lily's not even that fucking attractive. And the men are not realistic at all. There's no real attractive women in this movie. This is a load of shit. Anyway, all right, I'm done. I'm done with this, all right? If anything happens, like, in the media as far as, like, the scandal goes, I'll report it, but I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to take a little break from reviewing movies, but I'll be back soon, okay? And then I'll start reviewing something. I don't know what yet. I'll pick a movie, okay? Probably something I haven't seen before. But I got a backlog of movies. I know it got Mystic Pizza, but most of you don't even know what that movie is. Devil Wears Prada. I might do that one. I don't know. I'll think of something, okay? Maybe I'll do Snow White. Snow White. Okay, but yeah, Justin Baldoni's a piece of crap. Okay, he's a closeted homosexual, just like Atlas is in this movie. Blake Lively's also a piece of crap. Everything she has it because of her husband, okay, and her family, because she grew up in the business. Okay, nepotism all the way, nepo baby all the way. Okay, and even her friends, like Taylor Swift, want nothing to do with her now because of the scandal. They all have to go to court now and give a statement. Okay, so this thing's gotten totally out of their control. All right, this is going to hurt both their careers, mostly Ryan Reynolds, okay, because who the fuck wants to see Deadpool now after this, after they know what a piece of shit Ryan Reynolds is? Okay, Ryan Reynolds also a child actor, okay? He started fucking acting when he was a little boy, okay? So he's just fucking, he's so warped up into the industry. I don't trust a goddamn thing he does. I can totally see him trying to fucking help his wife steal the rights to a fucking franchise like he did with Deadpool, okay? And Justin Baldoni, of course, is a fucking piece of shit too, okay? He's over here writing books for men on how to give up your masculinity. Do you know what fucking happened in the world? There's no fucking masculinity. Anyway, all right, I'm done. I'm done with this gay stuff, okay? Which is all this shit is, all right? All right. Thank you very much for watching my videos, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.